Once again, the Mohegan Sun plays host to the US Open. The world's best players have travelled to Connecticut to compete for the title. 16 men left standing, including Phil Taylor, who took the title last year. But that's not the case for world number one Raymond van Barneveld and several other big-name stars like world champion John Part, Adrian Lewis and Peter Manley. They are all out. But we do have 5 North Americans and a handful of top seeds, and of course, a title on the line. Welcome to the PartyPoker.net PDC US Open. Hello and a very warm welcome to the Mohegan Sun here in the heart of Connecticut for the second staging of the PDC US Open. We've got £125,000 worth of prize money, £12,500 going to the eventual winner. And by the end of tonight, we'll know our quarter-finalists. So stay with us here on Nuts TV for the very best tungsten action over the next 5 hours or so. And just to give you a flavour of the Mohegan Sun, the Americans, well, they certainly don't do things by halves, do they? Because the complex here is the size of 2 Wembley stadiums. Well, we're in the Cabaret Lounge, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the former world number one and 2 times world match play champion Rod Harrington, and he'll be running the rule over things for us. It's a great event, 260 players. We're down to the last 16. We've had plenty of shocks.
We've had a lot of shocks. I mean, Raymond Barneveld being the biggest. We've only got 2 players left out of our Premier League from back home. So that shows you the standard. And I think the big upsets have come because of the format. You know, you've got best of 3 legs a set, best of 5 sets. And that really is the crucial factor. You don't have to play brilliant for the whole game. You've just got to win your own sets, nick the odd leg, and you can come out a winner.
Well, the man they all have to beat, the defending champion, Phil Taylor. Odds on, of course, to win it again. Is anyone going to stop him?
I don't think he can be beaten today. I really don't. He's been playing brilliant from the middle of the Premier League. He's got his darts sorted out. You know, he's got it sorted out in his head more than anything. He's really comfortable, really confident. And the way he's playing leg on leg, the pressure he puts on other players is immense. You know, there are players out there like Colin Lloyd, Shelton, Chris Mason, Ray Carver. They've got the firepower to beat anybody. But whether they can do it on the day against Phil Taylor is another thing.
Well, we'll have a look at the running order, the runners and riders in just a moment. But 5 players from North America in the last 16, and I suppose for this part of the world, that's exactly what they want. The PDC is growing again, isn't it, here in North America? There's 7 big tournaments over here now, and we're going to be guaranteed at least 1 North American in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's great. It's exactly what the PDC want. I mean, I've been coming over here for 20 years. You know, I've known the standard of the dart player. It went downhill a little bit for, you know, a few years, but now because of the money we're pumping into the States, they're coming back, you know, the Roger Carters and all them. They really are good quality dart players, and they don't bottle it, Stu. They've played us, you know, time and time again, and they will not bottle it. They'll go up there and you know they're going to throw darts. And as I said before, because of this short format, them players are going to have confidence to win this tournament. OK, well, let's have a look at the menu. Let's see what's going on tonight. We've got 8 terrific matches for you, and a couple to pick out. First of all, Phil Taylor against Colin Osborne. Osborne's in terrific form, isn't he? And as you say, the format, he may just have a chance. He does have a chance, but what he's got to do early on, he's got to get into Phil. He's got to win that first set. If Phil Taylor gets in front of you, then, you know, everybody's history. The game for me, I have to say, Shelton and Lloyd, you know, they've come over together. They really are good. They hit the treble 20 really well. Colin Lloyd's come into a bit of form, a real bad year he had last year. First TV event since a World Pro, and I think Lloyd will be able to prove himself, and I think Shelton's going to have a hard job to hold on to him.
Yeah, interesting you should pick that one out, because Shelton and Lloyd is in the top half of the draw, which of course is away from Phil Taylor, and I'm sure people want to avoid Taylor, the mood and the form he's in at the moment, so a great chance for one of those to perhaps reach the final.
Well, I've been a dart player for 20 years, and I can assure you, every time I went to that board, I had a look at the draw. These players will be looking at that draw. Them too will be thinking, if I win this, I could play Taylor in the final. You know, they're thinking that, I can assure you of that. And so, you know, they're going to be really up for it, but there's a good field of players there that are going to stop them.
OK, well, all the action coming up very, very shortly. But let's first of all introduce our special roving reporter here at the Mohegan Sun for the weekend. That's Becky Rule, and she's talking with the PDC chairman, Barry Hearn.
Thanks, Stuart. It's fantastic to be here. We're at the Mohegan Sun Casino for the US Open. I'm now joined by the chairman of the PDC, Barry Hearn. How are you doing, Barry?
Well, I'm doing well, Becky. I mean, I can't wait for a couple of great days. I mean, obviously, yesterday, 200 and plus players. It was a day of high drama. Seeds going out, top names falling by the wayside, and now we're getting ready for the last 16. This is when the big money kicks in, when the nerves start to fray, and the crowd will be entertained. It's big time darts here in the US.
We've got 5 Americans through this time.
That's staggering, isn't it? I mean, in the past we've done the World Series here. I remember the last 16 there was one American in, and everyone said, oh, why do you bother coming to America? The fact of life is there's 30 million dart players out here. Now, they've fallen a bit behind overall standard-wise from the European players because darts is such a massive sport in the UK. But now they seem to be coming up to the baseline and they're really throwing some great arrows. We've seen some shocks, but if you'd have said to me 5 of the last 16, I'd have laid you 33 to 1 that. And we know we're going to get at least 1 in the last 8. So for American darters, this is a very strong tournament and a message to the rest of the world, we've arrived.
Because this is the second US Open now, so compared to last year, how would you say it's different?
Well, you see the Americans seem to have more confidence. They're a little bit more used to the format. You know, they understand it's a long, hard day. Yeah, these boys like a drink. They like to enjoy themselves, but they've been here on business. And the top players, you know, they played 2 events yesterday. They played the US Open and the qualifying for the North American. They had a long day. These boys are looking at big dollars. We're talking 250,000. Now, by European standards, nowhere near the biggest tournament out there. By American standards, it blows away all their events. So they're here for the big time cash. And of course, a little rise up the order of merit as well. Going to be exciting.
And comparing it to the Las Vegas Desert Classic?
Well, another great event, same prize money, same ranking status. Las Vegas has... It's been there longer, you know. Las Vegas, we're coming up to about year 8 now, you know. So US Open's got some catching up to do, but the numbers were so impressive. Over 200 entries. That has beaten anything that Vegas has given us before. So, looks like there's a lot of players out there trying to make the big time.
Okay, thanks a lot, Barry. Let's have a great tournament. Back to Stuart and Rod.
Thanks, Becky. We'll be hearing a lot more from her over the weekend. We're at the last 16 stage, of course, and it's high time that we got the action underway. Coming up in just a moment, our first match, David Fathom of Canada against America's Bill Davis. So that, of course, means that one North American star is guaranteed a place in the quarterfinals of the 2008 PDC US Open. All the action in just a moment.